Hope everybody's doing well. So this is Crystal Rose Guidance and I am Holly, and we're going to take a look and see what you need to know. Okay, so we're going to be using the Inner Child Healing Oracles or Inner Child Oracles to get started. So I'm going to give these a quick shuffle and I will turn them all over as I get them out. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So for pile 1, y'all have number 21, let go of the past. It is time to envision a new story. Okay. So pile 2, y'all have number 23, let it go. Let go of all that no longer serves you. Okay, see a theme here. Okay, so pile 3, number 39, you are wanted. There is home waiting within. Okay, pile 4, y'all have number 4, be still. Cultivate a space of stillness and silence to just be. Okay, I do feel a bit of a theme here, so always keep in mind these are general. So if you start to get into a message, it really doesn't seem like it fits for you, that's okay. You know, you could have a message in another reading, another pile, you know, it just take it or leave it. Never try to force anything. That's when, you know, the message is not your message. Always keep in mind, though, you may be getting some insight into someone else's situation that's very close to you, to where maybe you can get some advice or maybe some insight that you can share that will help that person in some kind of way. Also, please remember that you are in control of this reading, okay? So you obviously have the ability to click off at any time this starts to become triggering or uncomfortable in any way. Please keep that in mind. These are always meant to be helpful, not hurtful, okay? So please remember your mental health is very important and to always keep that in mind, okay? So timestamps for everything will be down below and I will see you at your box. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose number 21, let go of the past, it is time to envision a new story. So that's pretty self-explanatory. This is also 21 is the world in tarot, so that would be the last of the major arcana, closing out a cycle. So that's what we're looking at here for you guys. That's what we're going to be talking about. In this card, you see she's kind of walking by this entryway here. She's not really even looking over there. She's looking straight in front of her. So there may be also this understanding of not wanting to look at anything else, just being very focused on yourself, being very focused on looking forward into the future and not even getting distracted by anything around you. It's like you're having to reinvent yourself or to, in order for you to let go of the past, perhaps you're having to envision just a whole new story for yourself. So you're not wanting to get distracted by anything here. And this could be even opportunities, you know, with these being the 2 doors that are here, 2 entryways that are here. And this may be what we're talking about. You know, you may have this influence come in or some sort of distraction in a way come in when it comes in the shape or the form of an opportunity here. But as you can see in this card, she's just still looking just straight forward, walking straight forward here. So, okay, so what do you need to know? That's our starting point. So we'll see if the world comes out in the tarot. I'm actually going to start with not a lot of oracle cards. I want to start with something kind of different, to be honest, with what I normally would use. We're actually going to use these Messages of Love oracles. These are things I feel like that you need to know or you need to be thinking, perhaps even. Okay, moving forward. Tell me about that for pile 1. We have obsession, Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. So it doesn't have to be what it says. It could just be obsession. Obsessing or obsession could be something that you're trying to leave behind. Letting go of the past, trying to envision something different here. What else do they need to know? We have, yeah, wow, addiction and twin flame here. Some of you may be trying to kind of move on past a relationship or particular relationships. Maybe perhaps a relationship that seems maybe somewhat addictive, something you keep kind of going back to. This twin flame card, take it or leave it how it fits for your story, but the way that I'm seeing it on the table with these other two cards here, I'm just going to refer to it as a connection, an intense connection, or connections, you know. This is a flame energy, talks about flame, so this could have to do with a lot of lustful kind of things, or going towards connections that are more lustful in nature. You have addiction here. Addiction is affecting this relationship. So maybe this obsessiveness about something and being addicted to this obsessiveness is what could be affecting your relationships in a lustful manner, perhaps. Or this is a particular relationship that you have been obsessing over that has turned into some sort of addiction even. Okay. Decision. So it's time to decide about this relationship. For some of you, this is you making a decision to move away from a relationship, or just move away from this type of relationship that's here, doing things differently, envisioning a new story here for yourself. So with that being said, we're going to grab the tarot. This is the Forced Creatures tarot that we're going to use. I think this is the second edition. Okay. And all of a sudden, my phone is blowing up. Okay, nothing important here. As most of y'all know, I have kids, 3 kids, and so I do have to have my phone on me just in case. And I also have something in my eye. So remember what's funny? I talked about these distractions here in the beginning. So maybe you keep getting easily distracted by something, or this could be like mentally. You feel like you're in a good place, and then here comes, you know, this or that. Even within your own mindset, like there may be something that pops up that's a memory. Okay, what does pile 1 need to know about this? What do they need to know about this? Does pile 1 need to know? Hold on a second. Support, weight, and decision. There's something here that with that support, because I meant to, you know, obviously go to the next card underneath, and I went to the third one, and then timing is there. So the timing is not quite right. And support, lean on the inner circle during this time. There's something to do with being supportive, or this could be even like a codependent kind of feeling that you lean more into, and you're trying to not do that. And this could be where you're making a decision. So not being that supportive energy here, and this may be something that's difficult. Okay, here we go. Queen of Swords, Libra energy. So you have your sword up here. You're, you know, in that position to where you're kind of cutting out things that don't serve you, or you feel like no longer serve you. Being very, I almost said proper, I can't say the word, but I can hear it in my head. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. Maybe I'll come back around. Problematic, is that the word I'm thinking? 5 of Wands. That's putting up a fight here. Being conflicted. King of Swords. Okay. So obviously this is a situation here. It seems like to me that you're going to battle here with someone. And for some of you, this could just be mentally in your head. You know, you're battling this out internally about making a decision here when it comes to perhaps a relationship where you have this obsession and this back and forth, or this strong attachment, but you may be trying to do something differently, you know, letting go of the past and envisioning a new story. Okay, so what we're looking at here and what you need to know is this is a conflict here between two people, obviously. So let's see what else. Or mentally, this is you thinking about this. But this is can be like communication. Two people that are communicating their needs or what they want in a situation. But there's confusion or conflict here around that. Ace of Wands in reverse. See, that's what I was talking about here, about being confused about making a decision to let go of something or turn something away. And I think that's what's here, is you're going to have to make this decision for yourself if that's what you want to do, because that Ace of Wands is in reverse. That would be doing something differently, you know, not choosing to move in that direction. And that Ace of Wands can be that lustful energy, or it can be that not wanting to, you know, do something that is too quick with timing there. Wait. Confused about what to do, needing to wait. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, not committing to anything at this time. Okay, let's see what the significance of this is. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. You could be the King or Queen here. Oh, you got a King of Pentacles. Five of Wands. The Eight of Wands. So there's this communication here, back and forth communication, that's conflicting and confusing. Disagreements, disagreeing about how to move forward or what to do moving forward. And again, remember, this may not be an actual conversation. This could be something that you're going through with in your head, going back and forth about. That Queen of Swords with that King of Pentacles is basically someone that is kind of standing their ground about what it is that they want moving forward. And that is some sort of commitment, loyalty, respect. You know, this is like the Queen of Swords demanding someone to be this person, you know, or to be treated in this way. King of Swords. The Three of Swords in reverse. So this is someone here that is, this feels like someone that's trying to be forgiven or forgive a situation. That's interesting. There's two threes here, so some outside interference could be an issue here. It could have to do with this lustful energy, of course. Golly, guys, my phone is just like all of a sudden blowing up. What in the world? That's funny too, because the Eight of Wands is about that fast communication back and forth. I feel like if y'all haven't had this yet, it's going to happen soon, where there's this someone here that you may have been in a relationship, a very intense partnership here with, that is communicating, you know, that they want some kind of commitment or want something here from you, or they're demanding basically what their needs are here, and that they want some sort of respect out of this. This is Libra energy. You have Aquarius here. You also have some Capricorn here. So this is someone that's saying, I want something grounded, committed, and stable. And then you have this energy here with that Three of Swords in reverse, which is like someone saying, okay, well, I'm looking at this situation logically. I'm trying to be smart here. This is overcoming some sort of hurt or pain, or asking even for forgiveness. So this could be someone asking you for your forgiveness for something. But there's this back and forth. Tell me about the Ace of Wands in the reverse. I pulled two cards, the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Moon. So there's been some kind of deception going on here, or some sort of something that came out into the open, something that came out into the light. And this is like, I don't think I can trust the situation, or this feels like something that's not, that I can't trust. And so I feel like you're turning away from this. You're making a decision to turn away from this. And it doesn't mean that this person, like, there's just been some particular things about somebody that you don't know if you can forgive, forget, or that are huge red flags that you don't know if you can move on from or trust. Like there's certain things about someone that seem like either they're being strategic or sneaky in some kind of way. It's something that you don't like, obviously, right? So that's been shown to you, and because of that is why you're not taking this opportunity or making this decision. Why is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse? So this is how you're doing something differently, which is telling me that maybe perhaps in the past, that's not what you did. You kind of fell back into this in some pattern. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, and there's a Tower. So not committing to this and making a decision not to commit to this is going to cause a significant change to take place. It's a Tower moment. It's a wake-up call. What is that? Scorpio energy. You also have Pisces and Cancer here too. The Nine of Swords. It does put someone into a place of being worried or afraid that something's not going to work out. With that Nine of Swords being there, being worried about that Tower falling because of a lack of commitment or lack of being able to work something out. They start to get anxious, start to get worried here. Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is someone that's like starting to go into that, the insecurities are starting to play out here with this person in a way where either they're holding back emotionally, they feel very vulnerable, they feel very exposed. There's fear here, you know, fears start to play out here in this. Two cards. Yeah, the Two of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This is like, this makes this person start to fear a foundation or stability or a long-term longevity in some kind of way. With that Two of Swords in reverse, it's like something that's out of, to me in this reading, it's something that's not in their hands. This is like when someone worries about, okay, what's the future look like here? What's the future going to be? Because you're not, or there's a fear of you no longer willing to work with them in some way. And what is that going to lead to? You know, especially if you are cutting this person off or out, they're worried about what that's going to lead to. And the Nine of Swords can be fear and worry about a lot of things. It's what keeps you up at night. You know, what's the worst case scenario? It's an anxious energy. It's worrying about the future and what that looks like and what could happen, you know, what's going to happen. So what do you need to know the most about this situation with this person, this connection? Let's look at something real quick. This, I want to center this around you though, but what's the obsession here? Because I feel like this is something you're trying to change. Yeah, the Four of Wands. You're trying to change your foundation. What's around you? What's important to you? What are your priorities? What do you value? And your peace and maintaining that peace there. You're trying to kind of maintain a peaceful place and get past these obsessive thoughts or, you know, obsessing over the situation itself. Addiction. And this can be like a pattern too, like wanting something to control something and wanting it to be a certain way. And that in itself can be like an obsession, right? Where you're trying to maintain the peace, but really whose peace are you protecting, that kind of thing. Addiction. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This is stepping outside of your comfort zone and looking at the situation very raw and how you have, you know, how you've contributed to the situation, especially with addictions here. What are you doing that's contributing to this being this pattern or this cycle, this continuation? Stepping outside of your comfort zone and actually looking at what you need to do instead of what you would want to do in the situation. Why is the Twin Flame card here? The Page of Wands. So this is kind of this is where you kind of fly by the seat of your pants is what came to mind. But, it's, again, you have that wand there, so it's kind of more thinking with more of what you really would like to just go after, and what you're attracted to and your interest, and how, at times that can get you into a bit of a pickle, if you kind of just are always flying by the seat of your pants, or you're going towards what interests you, or acting, too quickly with something, and leading into that position. Tell me about decision. Yeah, the Knight of Wands in reverse, kind of what I just described. This is you making a decision not to be this way, doing something differently. Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's kind of like, too, you're looking at it and you're going, okay, I have learned my lesson here time and time again. The way that I've been doing this is not something that's working for me. It only works against me. I have to change this up. I have to change the pattern, the cycle, no matter who it is with. This is, I need to get out of, there you go, the Chariot, Cancer energy. I need to get out of this position that I keep placing myself in, and get in my chariot and do what I need to do for my highest good, even though it is uncomfortable to look at the situation and look at that in myself. I know I need to do something differently here, because I'm only holding myself back from basically what you could see as your fulfillment or happiness, or a good, peaceful foundation for yourself. Okay. I'm gonna get some advice, but they're kind of like clarifiers for me. So let's go with, what are we gonna go with? Let's go with some of these, actually, because there is an individual here. So I would say slow down is a big message that's here. I think you're already aware of that with that Knight of Wands in reverse. Whoa. And this could be like who you normally deal with as well, You have your perfection that's just popped out. Your perfection, your beauty amazes me. I'm not sure how I attracted in someone like you, but I'm forever grateful. There's something to do with realizing what you have to offer here is more than what you've been giving of yourself. Still listening. The second time I've seen that. I listen to the music that you've shared with me. It helps me to connect with you, although we're apart. If that's something that you've been doing, and this is a connection that you've been kind of obsessing over in some way, I would say to kind of pull back. Music is amazing, right? It can change our moods as well. And if you're listening to music that reminds you of a situation that you're trying to let go of, then it can actually keep you kind of stuck in that moment and that nostalgic kind of feeling. So I would say if that's something that you're, trying to stay away from, that you're going to have to, put some controls on that, put some boundaries on yourself, even if it's just a particular type of music. It can be very healing, yes, I know, but it can also, you can be stuck in a space too, like everything's about balance. Okay, what else? No one compares. No matter how many people that I've met and experienced, there's no one that compares to you. Be careful of that too, because sometimes what we see in a person, first off, love in itself and loving another person is really what we're falling in love with, is who we are with that person. That's what brings me back to your perfection here, and not seeing yourself from what you have to offer. But if you are fantasizing, or you put certain kind of fantasy on a relationship, or you're always kind of looking at the potential that it once had, how happy it once made you, something like that, then you're taking away from the practicability of the connection itself and what it actually is. Not what those moments were and how great those moments were, but what it actually is now. And and maybe that's part of what you need to accept in order to really like release and let go and move forward. But I would say if this is someone here, it's kind of like insisting that you stop comparing, because what you're comparing it to may just be a fantasy of that version of that person that you wanted, that you saw past a lot of flaws with, because you just saw all these great things about this person, but yet they had these other things, other issues that were detriment to the relationship itself. And I know everybody's got their flaws, but in this particular situation, you may be kind of idealizing that relationship or someone, where if you took away a lot of things about them, it wouldn't be the same. So that's a way to stop comparing, and understanding that there are other people that are out there that are that you can have new experiences with, where you don't have to compare. And I know that's hard, especially the longer you've been in a relationship, but okay. Let's get an overall card for advice. And I actually want to get one of these, and then I want to get a Wild Offering Oracle too. What does pile 1 advice need to know? Your loved ones are safe, number 41. So this could be something that you've been worried about. That could be part of this here as well, with the Tower, the Ten of Pentacles being in reverse. Let go of your fear and worry of your loved ones. I am looking after them. So that could definitely be this here, and this could be what somebody else is worried about as well, depending on your situation. With that Two of Swords and that Ten of Pentacles, this can also be when you worry about everyone else, but you tend to not worry about anything to do with your own needs. Like you really put your needs way beneath everything and everyone else, because you're worried about what's going to happen there. But I would say in that situation that sometimes the best thing that you can do is to do what you need to do for yourself to become the person that you need, or the person that you want. And I think everybody benefits from that, and at some point you have to have faith, over fear, that situation is going to be able to come together in the way that it's meant to come together. If you would just let go of the reins, sometimes it will all work itself out. And that's just the bottom line. I mean, that's just the way life is. We can't possibly control every situation or how everyone handles everything. That might be something that you struggle with too. But this is telling you here, your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I am looking after them. Look at this. The bottom of the deck says, let it go. And that's what your card says. This is the number 18, which is the moon, which is here. So it's referring to this Seven of Swords being in reverse. There may be some things about the situation that you feel like you've gotten some insight, but you still may not know everything. There may be something or whatever occurred here that you felt like came to light. There's this understanding of needing to really find a place to where you can accept and surrender that and let go of that. If you carry on with that, that could definitely hinder your ability to have something new or new experiences in the future. That's something maybe you should kind of put some work into, letting it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever the energetic connections to the past so that you can embrace the future. If that doesn't fit with your card, I don't know what does. That fits perfectly. Okay, so let's get one of these. I just saw Truth. We'll see if it comes out. I'm not going to take it, but we'll see what happens. Okay. What can you tell me? Advice for pile 1. What do they need to know? Advice. Travel. Let every aspect of this trip, so for some of y'all may be going on some kind of trip. This could be like a catalyst kind of trip for you, to where you kind of discover yourself in a new way. That happens when we do things we don't normally do when we're on vacation or we're taking trips. Let every aspect of this trip unfold in harmony. May divine order arrange and handle every detail. I'll be guided easily and follow the leads as they are shown. So you may start to, if you are going on a trip, or if not, maybe you will soon, you may start to discover a lot of things about yourself that you didn't know. Yeah. Sometimes when we're by ourselves, we do that a lot more than if we had someone with us. And I don't know if that's your situation, but, we have to be very independent. We have to do things on our own. We don't have that other person to bounce ideas off of. You just kind of decide and have to go, and that, we discover who we are, what we really want, what we really like, and all that kind of stuff in a different way. That's the case. It can be very healing. Okay. Feeling good, like I should. Life's what you make it. Okay, we have E, E, C, B, CB. That's my son's initials. We have M, one of them, W, V, S, Q, OJ, T, and O. Okay, so I'm going to leave y'all right here and let y'all have these. Seams is here, though. There's a lot of stuff here, but here we go. So thank y'all so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I really hope this helps. Good luck to you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose number 23, let it go. Let go of all that no longer serves you. Now, I'm not going to sing. I don't want to. But anyway, so that's weird that I actually picked this card, because my son, he asked to watch this movie just the other day, Frozen. And I remember I took them to the movies to watch the second one, and there's a part in that second one that made me cry, and it has to do with like her story and having to hold back, which we're going in a different direction kind of with this, but having to hold back like her magic, her powers, her what's so different and so special and unique about her, This says let go of all that no longer serves you. And so the way that she's kind of lying here on the ground, and you have this big tree that's here with these beautiful roses that are blooming out of it, there's this feeling of putting something to rest and just letting things unfold. And there's beauty behind that, just surrender and allowing things to unfold. 23 is 5, so there has been perhaps some changes that are here. I don't know why I said some so many times. And this is kind of what you're having to she's such in a surrender state. There's peace, though, here with it, In this tree, the unique thing about it is it has no leaves. It's bare. But it does have these beautiful roses that are very unique and unusual growing off this tree. So again, it's like seeing the beauty behind something that maybe no longer is, or something that is, there's an ending closure that's here. Okay. 2 is about making that decision, and 3 is about growth. So I feel like you are ultimately making a decision to let something go in order to just move beyond it, past it, and grow. Okay, so I'm going to use these. I used these in the other pile, and I really liked them. No, I'm not. I'm not going to use these. I'm not going to use those. I don't feel those for y'all, so we're not going to use them. I'm actually going to use these. This is the Once Upon a Dream Oracles. So I don't know what's going to come out of this. This is a what you need to know reading. Okay. They shuffle like a dream, don't they? They are called Once Upon a Dream oracles. These are from Moon Moth Goddess. She's another reader here on YouTube, and these cards are awesome. Okay. What does pile 2 need to know? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, we have excitement here. See the way she's looking at herself in the mirror there. She's excited about something. So this is you kind of moving into a new phase, a new journey, and needing to find the excitement in that perhaps. You've been past this. You're letting something now, you know, you're letting go of what no longer serves you, even if that was a difficult thing to do. You are in that surrender stage. You're seeing the beauty behind that, and now it's time to look at the opportunities in front of you and kind of get excited about that. Potential, the opportunities, how something can go, how great something can be. You have nurture here with this big old huge bird. He is not missed many meals, that bird. You know, it's wintertime there, or it looks like it's spring. There's water droplets. So being prepared, I feel like, is something that's here. Nurturing yourself, you're ready. You know, you're ready for something. I feel like there's something coming in here for you guys. You may be already aware of that, and that's why you're in this excitement, or you may be fixing to be. We have desire here. So this is something that I feel like there's something here that you've been desiring, been wanting. Oh, these cards are just flipping out like crazy. Yeah, frustration. Maybe this is something that you've been kind of a little bit frustrated with. You could be, for some of you, in a position to where you've really have released a lot. You've surrendered. You've let go of a lot of things. And you're excited, or you have been excited for what's to come. And you've been nurturing yourself. You've been in this period of phase to where you're saying, okay, I'm ready. I have these desires. I've, you know, manifested all this stuff, you know. But then this frustration is here, like, okay, now I'm waiting. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, when is this going to take off? When is this going to happen? Or maybe perhaps now you have to wait, you know. But there's some kind of frustration here around that. You have interference. Okay, so there's some kind of interference that's taking place, perhaps, that is getting in the way of your excitement here. You have these birds on a wire, right? You know, we all know that. Going back to it's a Pixar short film. It was one of my favorite ones. I think it was one of the first ones they ever made, actually. But you have the birds on the wire, and they're all talking about the big bird, which is funny because you have that big old giant bird here. But they're talking about the big bird, and he's just so friendly, and he's just talking back to them, but then they start whispering to each other about him, you know. So there's this idea of gossip being there. But at the end of that clip, he actually... they get basically their karma from that, because he jumps off the wire and they go flying up into the air, right? But so this may have something to do with outside interference or other people or gossip or something like that. That, I don't know, I feel like there's this feeling that you have that you're getting what you like. You're either getting what you deserve in a good way, because of you've worked for it, or you've done the work, or you've done what you needed to do, or whatever, or you know that's coming, and you may be frustrated because of this outside interference or others, or that it hasn't unfolded for you yet. But for some of you, this is a situation where you already are aware of something here, and you're frustrated because you have this outside interference that's kind of trying to mess things up for you, you know? Yeah, destiny is underneath that. So I feel like you're on the right path, and there may be this like interference that's trying to kind of distract you, or, you know, put you on a different path. Okay. So we're going to use the Earth Woman Tarot to get started. Give these some little shuffles on camera here real quick. Let's see what this is pertaining to. Some of y'all are going to know exactly what this is. Others of y'all are gonna, this is something that's coming, okay? Timelines always do a little bit different for everybody. Tell me about what pile 2 needs to know about excitement. What does pile 2 need to know about excitement? Oh, look at that. You have the 7 of Cups there. This feels like you're kind of in your head, like you're kind of like on cloud 9, basically, and you're in kind of a fantasy about being excited about some things here, and that's like somebody coming in trying to burst your bubble. But the 7 of Cups is options or choices, but it can be like emotionally kind of confused because something is not playing out in the way that you feel like you deserve or what you need. Nurture. Let's keep going. We'll put them all together in here in just a minute. We have the Magician in reverse. That can be like not having what it is that you need, or not having the confidence that you need. Like maybe you have all the things that you need, but you don't know how to put them together and make it work for you. You've been kind of nurturing this or trying to, but it's not coming together. So this is something that you've been nurturing, you've been taking care of, perhaps that's not playing out like you want or not coming together in the way that you want. Why is the desire here? 3 of Swords. I think for some of y'all, yeah, there's either someone or something that's getting in the way of this desire, wish that you have. But I also feel like for some of y'all, you may be questioning, have I just been living in a fantasy world here with this? And this is where the frustration comes in. The 4 of Pentacles in reverse. This has something to do with you are vulnerable in a situation. Maybe you got taken advantage of, or you were just like hoping this was something that would free you up as far as giving you more space or more opportunities in some way. Or let's see, why is the 7 of Cups here? 2 of Pentacles in reverse is another card of choices. It can be when you're indecisive. You know, you're excited, but you're not sure what to choose, and you get kind of stuck in that place. Where you overanalyze or overthink it because of the excitement, but there's no action involved. Why is the Magician here in reverse? I'm going to pull this all together when we get all the cards out. These are kind of different. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So that's losing an opportunity, something not going the way that you wanted it to. This was some kind of manifestation that you had. You were excited about something here. And it's not going exactly as planned. It's not going the way that you wanted. 3 of Swords. You may even had some kind of heartbreak here. 3 of Swords. The 6 of Wands. This is you recognizing that something is not going the way that you desired or that you wanted for it to go. And there may be other people or outside interference that's involved here with this. It's like you're not getting the recognition that you've wanted or you've desired, or you're not getting your needs met in the way that you wanted or desired. You know, this could be from someone or just, you know, the situation itself. Tell me about the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. So you let your guard down. Yeah, Judgment in reverse. You feel like this feels like you've let your guard down here and you allowed for something in some way, shape, or form. And now you're frustrated here because that didn't work out in the way that you wanted it to. You have this Judgment in reverse, which is Scorpio energy. So it's like things did not come together like you wanted. And this could be why you're in this place of surrender. So this seems like something, if it hasn't happened yet, this feels like something that you were excited about. You were there was some sort of emotional confusion though about being indecisive around this. But you were nurtured something here, but then it didn't come together in the way that you wanted it to. And now you're feeling this Three of Swords, so you're feeling the pain from this, or the grief from this, not being successful, not getting what you desired from the situation. And I think you're being kind of hard on yourself for being vulnerable here. This could be opening up to someone. This could be opening up to a possibility of having something. And now you're sitting in this place to where you're frustrated because you feel like this is something that you don't deserve. Maybe you were in a place where you were expecting. You ever been in a place to where, like this here, where you've been doing what you need to do for yourself or on that path, and you start to call in some things start to add up for you, and you start to feel good, and you start to think, okay, it's my time, here we go, this is it, and you start to get a little bit confused about making the decisions, and things are going on, your excitement, your mood's changing, your excitement's kicking in, and then those things don't come together, and you're kind of questioning, like, what was this experience supposed to be? Like, I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? Like, what's the situation? Why isn't this coming together? What did I do to them? Or what did I do to this person? Or why did this not come out in the way that I want? I thought this was, the direction that I was supposed to. It's kind of like that kind of feeling to it. Something not going the way that you intended. And again, it feels like something else that you're having to kind of just let go of. And I think there's frustration because you've opened yourself up and you are vulnerable here. And I think that maybe perhaps even you made a choice that you wish you wouldn't have been open, or you wish you wouldn't have been vulnerable here to begin with. Yeah, this is what you perhaps again are needing to have to release or let go of. And that's frustrating in itself, right? Yeah, destiny. Interference with destiny is definitely, you feel like you had a wish that was starting to play out, and then it did like a 180 with that Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Magician. It was like it's just, the bottom just fell out of it. Tell me more about this. What does pile 2 need to know about this? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you're in that state of mind, or in that mindset of, I don't deserve this. Do I deserve this? It's kind of, it makes you want to be selfish. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you want to not give to anything or anyone, and be very closed off, and be very like kept to yourself, and very selfish. It's like getting your hopes up, or getting your expectations and away, and then you being turned down. Yeah. This could have to do with anything, but okay. The Ten of Pentacles just came out when I said that, very aggressively, in reverse. So something to do with your foundation, something that you thought was going to be a solid security foundation, something long-term. This is the Queen of Pentacles, thought she was going to have her Ten of Pentacles there, right? Some kind of structure, peace, stability, whatever that looks like to you guys. Abundance, prosperity, something tangible. Ace of Pentacles. Just, it's telling you, just because one opportunity didn't end up the way that you wanted it to, doesn't mean that there won't be more opportunities to come. But why is the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse? The Queen of Cups. So anger comes from a trigger that is a need to want to protect yourself. I don't know why I need to say that, but that's just a reminder here. With this Queen of Cups and this Queen of Pentacles being in reverse, like there's this understanding here of this want or need to protect yourself and what you have to offer. So there's like this defensiveness that's going on here with you. How is this outside interference? What is this interference that was here? What was the interference that was here? The Ten of Cups in the reverse. So this is like a false illusion. This is a false sense of fulfillment. This is like somebody giving you a Ten of Cups and saying, oh, you could have this happily ever after. It's going to be great. This and that. How something can be, and then taking it away from you. You know, this could be like a broken home. So this could be a desire that you had for something, some kind of wish fulfillment that you had that got taken away from you in some way. What was the interference of this? This could involve family too, by the way. The Sun. Something was shown to you around this. The truth, clarity, insight. What was the interference here with the Sun? The Hermit. For some of you, this is doing something alone. You thought maybe you had someone here with you, but instead now you feel like you're doing something alone. The Hermit is a very independent, very isolated energy, you know. It's doing some deep soul searching about what it is that you really want here. So this interference was, this was the interference, I feel like, on your desire or wish that you had. Especially if the Ten of Pentacles was that. You know, you thought you were going to have this solid stability in some way, shape, or form, and that was your wish, and somehow that got taken away from you, and now you are in this alone in some way, shape, or form. Leo, Virgo energy. Tell me about the you have Cancer here too, and Taurus. Tell me about the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. What does that mean? There's the Tower. Okay. Scorpio energy. So this is a Tower moment that basically comes in and just wipes everything out with that Ten of Pentacles being there in reverse. It's like when a Tower comes and just says, nope, we're doing things completely different. But here, what you don't see behind the curtain is the fact that this was something that was necessary for whatever reason. I feel like when a Tower comes, it's because whatever you were going to do or whatever you actually wanted wouldn't have worked out anyways. And it may have even put you down a path that was very hard on you. Sometimes that Tower can be that divine protection. And I think that's what they're trying to point out here, trying to show you. That Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity, though, that is here or coming in. So what is that? Death. Look at the tree. Look at her laying there like your card. And this one, look at that. That is awesome. This one, the tree has leaves on it. That almost makes me want to cry, because it's this feeling of the transformation starts from within you. Like her here, you know, the roots transformation. This is her growing her own tree. This is her growing what she wants to change. The changes in everything that she's... this opportunity comes from you. It comes from the changes that you make. And obviously, there's something here that comes to an end as well, and that you're having to release and let go of. And with that in itself, it creates change here for you and new opportunities for you. But it starts with you. Tell me more about that. The Two of Wands in the reverse. You don't have to have all the answers right now. That's what it's kind of saying. You don't have to know exactly which way you're going to go about doing something. Give yourself some time to decide what that looks like for you, because you really are having to... This can also look like yeah, that path that you thought you were going to go down, it didn't go the way that you intended for it to go. But that doesn't mean that you have no path. It just means that you have to decide how you want to change and make that path for yourself. Sometimes there's no two wands. Sometimes it's you making your own way. And it's like saying, okay, if I am, isolating, or if I am on my own here with this, then I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. And that's, maybe really what you're needing. Two of Swords. What is that about? The King of Swords. Okay. So there may be someone here that you're veering away from. Someone here that you may be cutting out or cutting off. Like, this is a path that maybe you thought you were going to go down with this other person, perhaps, or this other way, and that's no longer an option for you, and that's your choice here with that Two of Wands. So making that decision, I feel like, and this is what your card says too, let go of all that does no longer serves you. It's having that understanding here for yourself, that that option is there, or that choice is there, or it was, being smart about seeing this logically too. Anything else you want to tell me about that Aquarius energies there? Yeah, the Page of Cups in the reverse. There's something to do with this. Something to do with this not working out. Wouldn't have worked out. I feel like whatever this was, it would have actually made the situation for you even harder to include this person or to include these people. With that Page of Cups in reverse, it can be a very immature energy where someone doesn't think about how you feel in a situation. They neglect your feelings altogether. And they make that road a lot worse. I don't know why I got this in my head, but I just thought about my son being in the car on a long road trip, and he'll ask me, like, are we almost there? Yeah, it's like over and over and over. He still does that. Are we there yet? How close are we? And it's like, you are making this trip so much longer than what it needs to be. He just reminded me how much further we have to go. It's kind of like, it's something to do with that. It's kind of like that. Okay, so what advice do you need in this situation? Because you did experience some sort of tower moment where, you're letting go of this. Ooh, there you go. The Empress here. I love the way that she's rubbing her belly. That's pretty funny. I was never that confident to just let my belly stick out when I was pregnant at any time. But it's so cute. So you have Libra and Taurus energy here. So seeing the Empress, as far as your advice goes, I don't feel like you need any. The Empress kind of knows what she's doing. Like, you know what you're doing here. And I don't know if maybe you just need somebody to tell you that, but tell you that you're capable. The Empress is the person that she can grow what she needs, what she wants. And you're setting yourself in a direction where you're not listening or having to listen to it the way someone else wants you to do things, or the way they're going to, having to suit their needs in some kind of way, or whoever this is. You are doing things the way that you feel like are right for you, and good for you, and necessary for you. And I don't feel like there's any advice to give you around the Empress. The Knight of Swords. You're taking the actions that you need to take. You're doing the right thing for yourself here. And the Seven of Pentacles. Whatever it is that you're growing. Look, see, she looks the same. And this does remind me of the Seven of Pentacles because of the garden, and she's sitting there waiting, And the Seven of Pentacles is about, okay, you've invested, you've done the work, you've put in what you needed to, and now the only thing to do now is to sit and wait for your fruits of labor to be harvested, right? So continue to nurture yourself here. Continue to put your heart or your emotion into whatever it is that you're doing. It will bear fruit, is what it's saying. Yeah, the Fool is here. So you're starting fresh. You're starting over. Keep doing what you're doing. Just because this situation didn't work out in the way that you desired for it to, or you were hoping, or you knew you deserved, doesn't mean that there won't be another opportunity in the future. But what I'm seeing here for you guys is you making opportunities for yourself. You doing it for yourself. And knowing that you're capable of doing that is what I'm seeing. It looks good. It looks good. But let's get some advice. So we'll use some of these Divine Goddess oracles. This is very fitting, considering. Okay. What do you have for advice for pile 2 on this? Balance. Juggling too many things at once. Find time for yourself. So if you are in like this position here where you have too much on your plate, just take a break or take some time to yourself is important. If you've been doing that, keep doing that. Just don't take on too many things at one time. You have time. Deception. Look at that. False illusions. That's what this is. Scarcity mentality. Falling into bad habits. So I would say be easy on yourself here in this situation. If this was someone or something that you just, you kind of fell into this false illusion with, either that person was very good at leading you in that direction, or you were just in a place to where you felt like that was it for you, like you were ready for it, You thought that was, you've asked for it, and there it was, and you thought that was it. And it was kind of like a, devil in disguise kind of thing. Okay, so don't be hard on yourself here. That happens. And now what you can see out of it is it does help you to recognize and understand yourself more, so that you know what to do now. You can do things that you need to do. It just makes you stronger, really. Strength. Determination, perseverance, and self-discovery. Yeah, basically is what I was saying. And rest. Yeah, get some rest. Listen to your body mentally and physically unwind. And leap of faith, which is awesome. That is the Fool. Aries, Aquarius energy. Taking a risk, stepping into the beauty of the unknown. That's what's here. Recognizing that there is beauty behind not knowing what the future holds. But knowing that when to let go of the things that don't serve you, aren't helping you. Even if that's difficult, that's what we're seeing. Okay. Love that for you guys. So let's get, we're going to get a feminine wisdom oracle to leave y'all with. And consistency is key here. Number 20. 20 is judgment in tarot. Continually reminding yourself that you can do this is important. Confidently repeating the patterns. It says, consistency. Behaving in the same way and confidently repeating the patterns for greater good. You pulled this card as a heads up reminder that now is not the time to give up. In fact, it's the perfect time to keep going. Do not give up on the thing that you want the most, because later it will feel like a betrayal of yourself. Keep showing up. Keep investing your time and repeating the same good patterns over and over again. Dedication is key, but you already know that. Your affirmation is, I owe it to myself to stay consistent. Number 53. So don't let this thing that came in here and was this disappointment, this interference, interfere with your growth, your path, and the direction that you're moving on. Okay? Just see it as an opportunity to start again. And you don't know what the future holds. So be excited about that. And stay consistent. You will never regret staying consistent. you know, on something that you're working on, something that you're moving towards. You know, I know sometimes our moods and things that happen in our life obviously can disrupt our routines and patterns when we're working on ourselves. And I know when I start to get like any kind of sadness or a situation takes place, sometimes all I want to do is like just hang out and sleep and you know, play with my kids. And I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like walking. I don't feel like doing work, you know, and all that. But I also know that if I put those on the back burner, I'm only hurting myself. And all that stuff actually makes me feel better. So why would I not continue to do those things? Okay, how's that mouthful? Okay, so you do have the bow tie. So you may have a smooth talker. You may have a silver-tongued devil here. So somebody that's able to kind of say what they need to say in order to get in the situation. You've already seen the flags with this person, but they may be coming towards you again, just to be prepared for that. For others of you, this is recognizing when the flags are yellow before they turn red, you know. That could be something that's there too. You are in this Empress energy, so you know yourself. Let your dreams be your wings. There you go. And you have the rocket ship. So, you know, you're smart enough. You can move on past this, like it says. You can let this go. I feel like once you get this momentum past this, I think you'll find yourself moving very quickly. Okay. We have L-I-K, another K, D-M, W, E, we. Somebody may DM you and like, we can do this, you know. That's not for everybody, but that's something that was there. That might be part of what this red flag thing is. We have G, C, N, N, CNN. We have Y, H, J, C. Come here. Come here. 3 N's and a Z. Okay. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave you here. I definitely hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Hey, pile 3. So if you chose number 39, you are wanted. There is a home waiting within. So we're talking about what you need to know. And, you know, I felt like obviously you are wanted means that maybe you're feeling rejected, and this is just a reminder. But I was curious of what the book describes with this card, just because of the image itself. So I got it out and I took a look, and I'm going to read it to y'all because I feel like it's really important. Okay, so it says, and together 39 comes out to 12. 3 plus 9 is 12. 12 is actually the Hanged Man in tarot. And it's like needing to shift your perspective of how you're seeing a rejection, perhaps, or seeing just perhaps where you are, you know. There's maybe not a particular incident, but it could be just how you feel. So that says, abandonment is a wound. Sometimes we feel abandoned not because by choice, and that's something I just think that is also need to be said. Abandonment is a wound that many of us carry. It is a tender place within us that mourns at the prospect of rejection. Such a sweet heart beats within those who have experienced the pain of being unwanted. Be gentle with yourself in the presence of this pain. At our core, we all crave connection and to be drawn into the embrace of a beloved soul. Okay, so we're talking about what you need to know. That's where our starting point is there. For you guys, I'm kind of feeling... What am I feeling, actually? Let's use the answer. No, let's use the truth. I don't know why I want to go here, but... Revealing the Truth Oracles is, I guess, what we're going to be using for y'all. Okay. So, pile 3, what do you need to know about this? Perhaps this feeling of abandonment. What do you need to know about this? for pile 3. What do they need to know about this? First card out is hope, wish, expect, and desire. Change, so hoping for some sort of change. Transformation, newborn, and evolution. So hoping for something, hoping for a change, hoping for something different. Maybe to feel a different way. We have shadow here. The other side, coexist, and reverse side. What else? And chew. Deep thinking, remember, solving puzzles, solve puzzles. And code word. So chew is about really thinking about something. It's thinking about this shadow here, perhaps maybe the other side of a situation or this reverse side of something when it comes to yourself and how you're seeing a situation. I talked about the hanged man, so trying to see a different point of view or perspective and not looking at the, shadow aspect, but looking at, the opposite side of that and perhaps some positivity around it. With chew, deep thinking, doing some deep soul searching. This feels very hermity. It feels very Virgo-y, very hermity. Bottom of the deck is adjust. So needing to adjust, adapt, accommodate. There's this feeling of you're hoping for something to change. And you may be seeing another perspective to it, or you're needing to see another perspective to this. Doing some deep soul searching here. And trying to adjust to what is. It's like this feeling of something not happening to you, but for you. Something to do with that kind of a type of situation here. Okay, so what's interesting is I actually chose the Light Seers Tarot for your reading, which is very shadowy in itself. Okay. Compensate, balance, adjust. Yeah, I think you're just needing to, what you need to know is you're needing to adjust the way that you're seeing something. You're very in the shadow part of something. So like feeling abandoned, feeling rejected, or feeling even lost. Okay, let's see what this has to do with. You're desiring a change, but you're not thinking in the way that you need to in order for that change to take place. Seeing something differently. Changing your perspective in order to get to that higher ground. This could have to do with coexisting with the situation or something because of this adjustment or adaptingness to it. So you may be having to adapt to some kind of new energy or new way of being. This feels like trying to pull yourself out of feeling abandoned. That's what it feels like. Or lost, or maybe even lonely. Yeah, Queen of Cups in reverse. So that nails everything I just got done saying. That's Cancer energy. In reverse, the Queen of Cups can be very, like, feeling very alone. Feeling emotions are kind of having their way with you, when it comes to that. Tell me more. Losing faith or hope is something that's there. You are wanted. There is home waiting within. Four of Wands in reverse. Not feeling at rest. I mean, your soul doesn't feel at peace. Yeah, you have the High Priestess, Pisces energy. You're trying to, this is going within, but this is going within in a very deep way. And sometimes we can kind of get lost in that space. Tell me some more. I'm going to pull the cards out so I can, bring this together in the right way. Yeah, Five of Swords in the reverse. So you're trying to overcome this. This is the shadow side, I feel. you intuitively feel like that, like there is some sound understanding of the way that things are here, and you're intuitively picking up on this, but that doesn't give you the peace of mind I think that you're really looking for. Part of this has to do with you needing to make those changes yourself in how you're thinking. And that's the Five of Swords in reverse with that shadow side. Yeah, the Seven of Cups. See how he's thinking about what to do with Chu. What can I do to get myself out of this? Tell me about that Queen of Cups in the reverse. I don't think you particularly like being in this state of mind, in this place. Oh, a song just came to mind. State of mind. State of mind. Some kind of lyric that popped out. It was where they say state of mind, but I have no idea what song that is. It might resonate for some of you. You may know what I'm talking about. Particular state of mind is what popped in my head. In the song lyric. Six of Swords in the reverse. Again, you keep kind of being emotional. There's this feeling of, I keep going back to this place where I feel lost, abandoned, or I feel like my soul's not at rest here. I keep going back to this in my mind, and it's causing me this emotional stress. It's overwhelming, you know. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, the Four of Wands in the reverse. This is the Eight of Pentacles, particularly too in this deck. You can see this has a lot to do with your spiritual work and in your cycles, and recognizing, you know, who you are and how you do things, and repeating a cycle. And this is about work. This is really putting the work in to change that. But you remember I talked about how your soul needs rest. Like in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles is that place of giving yourself rest. And I think this has a lot to do with mentally, because you're not at peace. You keep kind of reverting back to what was, or that incident, or what happened. But it's not I don't feel like it's like a experience as much as it is a feeling. It's like you keep going back to the way that something felt. That's what's causing you this upset. It's keeping you more in a hopeless place. I think you're kind of hard on yourself in some way too. For some of you, there's something here that you were expecting anyways, or you expected, or you're trying to be grateful for, but then you find yourself in this place, and it's almost like you're, you know, like a I don't know why this popped in my head. I'm sorry, we're talking about something serious, but for some reason in my head I was just, you know, that movie Liar, is it Liar Liar? And he's in the bathroom beating himself up, and that guy comes in. He says, what? And he says, what are you doing? And he said, I'm kicking my own ass. There's something here to do with, you know, you're beating yourself up here about something. Maybe we needed that humor, right? I think you do. I think you need a little humor, because I think that there's a part where you're beating yourself up about something. It's coming from a place of feeling wanting connection, still wanting to connect to someone or something. It's a feeling that you're longing for that you miss. And so you keep going back to this place because you still want to connect. You want that feeling. But instead, this feeling is now causing sadness. That's why you need to get out of that. But for some of you, there's something in particular you may be beating yourself up about. But I think for a lot of you, this just has to do with keep going back to that place, you know? Why am I crying again? You know, it's that kind of a feeling. That was a long breath. But that Eight of Pentacles in reversed is partially why you're not having this peace is because you're overwhelming yourself, you know, being kind of hard on yourself. And what I think you really need to be doing here is just to feel it and allow yourself to feel it and release it. I don't know. I think you you cut yourself off from having to feel it. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like so much, like it's too much. Or let's keep going. Why is that high priestess? See, I almost got kind of really caught up in that myself, trying to explain it. And I think that's what you're doing here in your head with this high priestess next to all this. It's like you're trying to explain it. Even here, look, he's holding his head. Trying to explain it. Trying to figure out, why do I keep going back here? Why do I keep in the same spot? Why do I keep feeling the same way? Why is the high priestess here? I feel like I'm getting somewhere and then I'm back to square one. Queen of Pentacles with that high priestess. So there's a call for change. You know, there's a call for needing to, this says evolution, but evolve past this. This is a pattern that we're seeing. They see all these are, it's blocking you from being able to move past this. You need to adjust to whatever this is and the reality of whatever this is and move on past it in order to find that balance and peace for yourself. And you keep getting stuck in this pattern here of this emotional pattern. You're looking for this. See, you're in this Queen of Cups in reverse, and you're looking for this Queen of Pentacles. And this is stability. This is feeling stable, feeling more stable. I think that's really what you want. I think you're really desiring a change. You don't want to be in this emotional state, you know, anymore. You want to be stable. You want to be in this stable place. And I think you're just, you know that intuitively, but getting there is a whole nother thing, right? So which brings me to here, the Five of Swords in reverse with the other side of things. What does that mean? Ooh, it's a tower. The other side of the tower. Trying to understand why something had to be a certain way. And obviously this is a different thing for everyone here, right? But this is understanding why did it have to go this way? Why did it have to be this way? Why? And this is what you need to reconcile with. And I think partially some of this has to do with, you know, we obviously don't have all the answers of why towers happen the way they do. We just know that they happen. You know, it's like having a fire, and you don't know the cause of the fire, but you do know it happened, and now we're here. Because this can really lead to this here, which is like a really bad place to be mentally when you're trying to find pieces to a puzzle that you don't even have an idea what the puzzle looks like to begin with. Do you know what I mean? Why did this happen in this way? Why did that happen in this way? What I could have done here, what I didn't do here, what I wish I would have done. You know, it's like all of these things. But there is no, you're trying to make sense of something there is no making sense of. And definitely you can't go back. You know, that's what that Six of Swords is in reverse, is going back. That's what's causing this emotional instability to begin with. Trying to solve the puzzle. I just realized that was what that says on there. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. The Page of Wands. You need to find something here that gets you out of this emotional state, as far as, you know, the Seven of Cups, and I'm seeing it now in your reading for y'all with this, is he doesn't know what's in those cups. He doesn't know reasons. He doesn't have explanations of why. All those cups pretty much look the same. He has to choose something based off of the unknown. And I think the Page of Wands is just a reminder to step into that place of inspiration, of a desire of what you can't see. So let me bring that down a little bit. So it's basically like if it has to do with something that you don't have all the answers to, then sometimes we can come up with that conclusion on our own that gives us a sense of peace in itself, to where, you know what, I don't have all the answers here, but I chose what I chose, or I did what I did, or it happened the way it happened. And there is a higher purpose to that. There's a different reason to that from what I can see at this moment in time. But there is no changing it either. I think that's in your mind too. I think you're trying to change. You're trying to search for something that changes, seeing something maybe in a darker way. And it's just that's not going to get you anywhere. So you have to start looking at something in a way of, I don't need to solve this puzzle. There's a place here where you're needing to kind of search more into why you are emotionally confused about it, and not as much so in how you wish you could see things differently or find the reason behind why something happened the way that it did. Yeah, 5 of Wands. Outside interferences, disagreements, conflict. Give me a card for that. The Star in reverse. This is where you are with the Star. That's Aquarius energy. I don't know if there's someone here too that you may be disagreeing with how things unfolded, but that's keeping you in this state. Do you know what I mean? Like, it may not be keeping you there, but it's definitely not helping. Someone that you may be around, that either you're thinking about this and it's keeping you in disagreement, or someone that's challenging you in some way about doing things differently, or choices that you made. But see, the Star in reverse is that lost hope that we talked about here. Give me another card for that. What do they need to know about that, though? What do they need to know about? This may be somebody younger than you, or someone that they keep planting ideas into your head. You know, I feel like in my life I've had to console myself in a way of where I've had to say to myself, you know, well, if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be here. Or if that didn't happen, then X, Y, and Z wouldn't have happened for me. You know, and I feel like there's always that balance in life. And, you know, there's not so great things that happen in the way that they happen. But then on the other side of that, if certain things didn't happen or unfold in that way, well then, you know, this wouldn't happen or go for me in the way that I do like or I do enjoy. So, I mean, you have to be able to look at the balance in all things, I guess. Tell me about this if this is someone else, though. This could be somebody younger than you or more naive to the situation, but they could be like keeping you in a certain particular like state of trying to solve a puzzle, you know what I mean? Keeping you confused, giving you like a sense of you're missing something. I don't think that you are. King of Pentacles. Tell me about the King of Pentacles. This could be about a King of Pentacles. You have a Queen and King of Pentacles here. This could be a parents. You have a Page. Tell me about that, King of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, there's another Page and the Two of Swords in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. Lack of information when it comes to making a decision. There's somebody here that keeps you kind of second guessing maybe perhaps some decisions that you made. Or that you could have done something differently. Or that you wish that something would have went a different way. But that, again, is keeping you from being able to go anywhere. You're not going anywhere with that. Okay, so what advice do they need about this, adjusting this, though? Because, again, that doesn't really get us anywhere, right? You may have someone here that helps stabilize you. Like someone here that's a good advisor, the High Priestess. Someone here that helps to make you feel supported or stable. Tell me more about advice, though. I need advice about this moving forward. The World in reverse. I heard just because it's over for now doesn't mean it's over for good. So I don't know what that means. This could be like this situation, this pattern here, emotional pattern you're in. This could be never ending, right? That can be the World in reverse. There may be also some information that's yet to come, but it's not something that you can find or search for. It's something that will come when you're ready. You know, like the universe or God will give you that when in due time, you know, when you're ready. Ten of Pentacles. I heard this doesn't mean the family's over. I don't know what that means. There's still this stability that's there. More advice. This is a need to focus on what you have, what's important to you, what you value. Could be family, your stability, your foundation. The Three of Wands. Yeah, the Seven of Wands. What are you needing to defend here? This is about giving something some time. Allowing, you know, putting some distance here too. Some of you, if you've had upset family in some sort of way, okay? It's not for everybody, but this is about maintaining some distance between that. Like, you still have that support, but you also have to recognize some boundaries or setting some distance between you and what that is. Okay, let's go back to the World for advice. What is that? Queen of Swords in the reverse. There's something to do with it being like a very cold, energy here. Like a lack of closure, like a feeling of a lack of closure here. But for this situation, somehow or another, I feel like you can actually give that to yourself. You're just not seeing it in that way because you're still searching for, I think, information I don't think you're going to get by searching. I think you've searched long and hard enough, you know. It's keeping you in this emotional state. Why is the Ten of Pentacles here? The Four of Swords, need to rest. There's a need here. There's a call for you to take a break, for you to rest your heart. And relying on family or a supportive energy around you could be really important here too. If there's family here that is causing disruption or keeping you in your head in some kind of way, or that you disagree with in some sense, there is a call here to kind of step away from or put some distance there between you and them so that you can give yourself a break or rest. Listen to where you only are listening to your own thoughts and not including everyone else's, right? Why is that 3 of Wands there? That Ace of Wands. So this is telling you to kind of look towards the future. We saw it here before too. I mean, there is a big call here to turn away from searching and look towards what you could have in your future, or what you need to be. I don't know if I want to say, like, let me get another card to try to describe. Yeah, Judgment in reverse. Stop being harsh on yourself is something that's here. Some of you just may have had like you're putting like these intense expectations on yourself in some way. And it's kind of like just like back off, if you need to put some distance here, or if you need, I mean, this could be like doing something that pulls in new interests. This could even be like a vacation or a trip, or doing something different, or going towards something that you feel like won't make you think about everything else. Sometimes we just need that peace of mind. And if we're in the same environment that we've been in, or if we're in an environment that is the same environment that hurt us in some way, or we're in that pattern, sometimes just having that little bit of a break of doing something differently can give us that place to where we're not thinking about all of that, because we're thinking about something new, something different. Even if that has to do with doing something differently in your daily routine. Maybe watching a new series or picking up a book. Anything to give you that sense of peace of mind where you're not thinking about this, I feel like would be good for you. Because at some point it's not, okay, I need to work on this and figure this out and fix this. At some point it's like, okay, enough is enough. And I know when this is starting to hurt me, and I need to not think about it for a little bit. Not to say it doesn't hurt anymore. It's just to say I need to do what's best for my mind at this point, I think some of you may be wanting to do that, but you're afraid of judgment of others, and so in some way. Tell me about that 7 of Wands. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. There is this like need to prioritize yourself and protect yourself and not take on more than you can handle at this time. Like you could be utilizing work or like your responsibilities to not think about this, but then that doesn't lead to the same place it would if you were doing something that sparked your interest, or it's something new. It's not, you don't see it as work. Then you just deplete you. You're trying to find something here that fuels you, that feeds you, and not depletes you. So if you're looking for peace of mind, just diving into work isn't going to do it. Taking on a lot of responsibilities isn't going to do it. That's what the 2 of Pentacles here is showing you. And you may have to say no. This would be like when you need to. It's okay to say no. Like it's okay to, don't be worried about hurting someone's feelings if you need to do what's best for yourself and say, oh, I cannot do that right now. I'm sorry. And you don't have to explain either. You can explain later, if you need to, but I just feel like that there's this weight or pressure, more what you need, that you're putting on yourself that you should shed, Ace of Cups is here. You are in desperate need here for self-love. Not more working on yourself, not more working on the situation, not more trying to figure something out. just simply loving yourself. Look at that Queen of Wands and the Ten of Swords in reverse. So you're coming out of what you feel is an unfair situation and unjust situation that's unfair, and you're having to pick yourself up from a 10 swords. So a painful ending. You're having to resurrect yourself from a painful ending, and that takes some time, definitely. But this is, I laughed because the Queen of Wands is here. So with that Ace of Cups, it's like you're needing to find yourself again here in this Queen of Wands. You're needing to find that spark and get past this emotional place that you're in. And it's there. It's there for you, you know. You just have to... That's what you really need to be searching for. And whatever this situation was here for you guys, it's like, let's put that off to the side and let's work on myself, or not work, but find myself again, the fun part of yourself. Because I think along the way you've kind of lost that. And that will help you tremendously to be able to adapt to this new life or new environment and find balance here. Okay, so let's get some advice on that note. Let's do the Divine Goddess Oracles. Sorry about my dogs out there. It's just barking his head off. I don't know what he's barking at, but... Okay. Retreat. Time spent alone. Reflection on the past and current situations. Okay, let's see. Pile 3. What do they need to know? Pile 3. Decisions. Yeah. See, the thing is that you have to make that decision for yourself. That the need to gain clarity through decision making. You have to choose yourself here. You have to make that decision for yourself to, no matter how emotional you are about this and the way that things are, or how, you know, you feel about where you've been left. But you have to make that decision to say, you know, I need to focus on what I need to do. I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on what's best for me here. And it's not good for me to sit and to relive this, you know, over and over. I need to pull myself away from that. Whether that's, you know, listening to tarot readings or listening to certain music or whatever the case may be. It's like I need to pull myself away from that and do something differently. Change up that routine, you know. If every day you wake up and you say, okay, I'm going to listen to a reading today, and you seem to be getting the same message, it's because you haven't changed that routine or just done something differently. Maybe instead of that, go outside and go for a walk if you're able. Not listening to anything but just the silence or the dogs barking. Or, you know, just do something different. I like putting puzzles together myself. It's become kind of an obsession. But whatever it is, you know, just do something different to kind of get your mindset in a different place. Fear. Expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on negative thoughts. That's really where we are here with this. Because you can't physically change the past. Balance. That's what's here. Juggling too many things at once. Find time for yourself. We talked about that too. And patience. Have patience with yourself. That's most important. Yes, you are going to emotionally go, you know, when you're dealing with something, it's going to be there. You know, just know that it's not you ignoring that feeling. It's just doing what you need to do for yourself in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you're not abandoning that situation or your emotions or anything like that. It's just, you know what you need to do mentally for yourself, and that's all. That's you taking care of yourself. Have patience with yourself. This feels like something that's big, and it feels like something that's going to take a lot of time, and it may be something that continues to resurface from time to time, but I do feel like it will get better over time. Yeah, strength is at the bottom. Determination, perseverance, and self-discovery. Yeah. So you have the strength. I heard you got the power in my head. You have the strength. You've got the power. It's a song, right? Yeah. You are in control more than you think you are. Let's say that. Okay. Here we go. Sometimes when we get into a moment, we have a thought runs past our head and it makes us sad and we cry. Cry for a second. Wipe your tears and continue on. You know, go on about what you're doing. It's part of it. You have to remind yourself of that. Keep moving forward. That's strength. Okay. See what we have. This is the Feminine Wisdom Oracles. Grounding. That's perfect for you guys. Number 27. Here and now. Grounding. Yeah. Grounding in the here and now. Because I think, you know, this depressive feeling is from obviously the past. That's what that is. So grounding in the here and now is really important. Okay. Being in the here and now, staying in the present moment. Bring to your mind an image of a tree. Observe how it is rooted in the ground with branches reaching out towards the sky. Its powerful roots buried deep inside to the dark. Hold the strength needed to reach the light. To be grounded means to keep our values strong, kindness, integrity, and staying true to your heart. Only then are we truly able to spread our inner light. Your affirmation is, I am centered in my body and I value my heart. Number 67 is the page number. I have 3 boys, so I can't help it when that comes up to laugh or point it out or something. And that's everywhere in our house, guys. Everything. Anyway. So with that being said, one of the things that came through as I was reading that was thinking about, you know, like I feel like when we're on like a healing journey or path or a spiritual journey, whatever, we see everything in a deeper aspect to it, and we kind of can dive too deep into the depths of below with that. And sometimes we need to just kind of bring ourselves up and realize that we live here on earth, and, you know, Mother Nature and the higher source wants us also to have fun here on earth in the time that we do have here. And it's just like having to remind yourself of that and kind of release all that seriousness. Sometimes there's a way where you can, have that inner child come out, and that's so important as well. And I don't know, there's just that I was thinking about that when I was reading that card to you. Okay. So sometimes it's not about like needing to ask, why am I this way? But sometimes we just need to, we've already been there for so long asking that, and we're self-aware, and to pull ourselves out of it and just have some fun every now and then. We live here on earth. We're happy and blessed to be here. So sometimes it's just about needing to pull yourself out and enjoy it. Be kind. Loving is easy. We have BNNYEXIOT. We have an R, a W or an M. We have a J, a P, and a U. P-U. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you right here. I don't know why I just heard Brittany in my head, but it's kind of, some letters are there, so. Actually, I think you can spell Brittany in the bowl. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I definitely hope this helps. I'm sending y'all so much love and light, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, Pile 4, so if you chose Be Still, cultivate a space of stillness and silence to just be. Now, I love Be Still, which I have that on my wrist. I got that as a verse. But It's interesting that the number 4 is actually the number for the 4th house is about home, which is Cancer energy, which was just a coincidence. But I am Cancer. But that home and being still goes, well, should go two of the same. You know, home is about that peaceful place, and this could be within. But it says cultivate a space of stillness and silence just to be. So this is about you actually cultivating this place for yourself. So I feel like we're talking about, you know, what you need to know. And you see like a little bit of chaos going around here. You have the moon that's kind of showing itself there in the background. It looks like a bird here in the sky, you know. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but that's what it looks like. So I think that you may be in a place, this may have to do with home, this may have to do with your home and cultivating that and finding that peaceful place, needing that place for yourself, needing that isolation or that idea of alone, or just having that peaceful place to go is important, you know. Okay, so let's take a look and see what this is pertaining to. We are going to start with, I don't know what. I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's use the yeah. Let's use the Twin Flame Audio Oracles for y'all. Be still. Okay. Pile 4. Pile 4, number 4. Be still. Oop. Pile 4, number 4. What does pile 4 need to know at this time? Okay. All right. Let's see what we got so far. We have the final dance, last chance, all or nothing, not playing games. We have the grasp of greed, materialism, possessiveness, and selfishness. We have trouble lurking, red flags, lies, and deception, bad intentions. And we also have photographs, memories, nostalgia, the past returns, rut-row. Going back to something. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have, drinking to forget, trying to move on the rebound, and deeply missing you. Okay, trying to make peace with something, trying to find a peaceful place. I think that as you're cultivating this place for yourself, or you've been doing that, I feel like there's something that may come in with this. Trouble lurking is a huge part of this, I feel like as you're trying to do this trouble lurking may come toward you. For some of you, you just may be trying to be in this place where you're trying to forget the past, you know, and cultivate this peaceful, still place for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to start shuffling the tarot as I'm talking. We're going to be using the Wild Reflections Tarot to start. Yeah, there's the Five of Pentacles and Justice. So it's like you're trying to get yourself, I think this, okay, hold on, let me take a breath, because this feels like as you're trying to like get over something or get into that peaceful state of mind, something comes in as almost like a disruption to that. Which I know is not what y'all want to hear. But we have the Lovers in reverse. This could also just be something you're trying to get over, you know, and again, find that peaceful place. Have this new beginning here. Yeah. So let's see if this is someone coming in or if this is... There's the Knight of Swords. Okay. Final dance. Tell me about what this is. What does this have to do with? What does pile 4 need to know? Final dance. Oh, pulled it out again. Yep. I feel like that this is somebody that's coming towards you. So I'm going to put a trigger warning on this reading. If this is something that you don't want to know or you don't care about, by all means, please, you know, either go to a different pile or maybe perhaps there's another reading. I have a lot of these. But Y'all saw me pull the cards, so there it is, the Knight of Swords, final dance. I feel like there's somebody who's rushing in here, wanting a final opportunity here. You have the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords in reverse. This may have been someone that you tried to, that you once had a commitment with. Maybe you were in your head a lot about this, or they were in their head a lot about this. Maybe this is what you've done here, is you've gotten out of this, like wanting to work something out. You're no longer in that place where you're wanting to work something out here with this person. Why is the grasp of greed here? Ooh, Emperor in reverse. Okay. So this is somebody that is doing something in a selfish way, or they did. Let's keep going. We'll see what else is here. So far, you just have some Aries energy here with that Emperor. Trouble lurking. There it is again. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. Bad intentions. So this person may not be wanting to work something out here with you, being like for your best interests. This person may have bad intentions, or this is what you're afraid of. Okay, so we'll figure that out. Why is the... person may be on the rebound here for some of you too. Why is the photographs here? Ace of Cups. Okay. Ace of Cups is telling me there's this opportunity to go back to someone. That's what we're looking at. I don't feel like you trust this person. I don't feel like this person you feel like has the best of intentions. There with her, with the alligator here, I feel like you need to protect yourself from this person here. Protect your peace that you've built, you've cultivated. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. This person coming in very quickly. It's the Six of Swords. So this is somebody that's coming in wanting to get to a calmer place here with you. They could be traveling towards you. I think you've turned your back on this person, like she is in that card there. Tell me about the Emperor in reverse. Grasp of greed. Yeah, you have a King of Swords in reverse. So this person may have, you know, spoken hold on. They may have, I mean, this is just somebody that, this is not a good character, to be honest with you. I don't know if this is how you see in this person or how they really are. Let's see. Is this how this person really is? Oh, that came right over. Oh. It's the Two of Cups in the reverse with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Can you clarify that for me? Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Nine of Wands in the reverse. I'm having a hard time understanding this. Why am I having such a hard time understanding this? Tell me about the Seven of Swords in the reverse. The Hermit. I think you already know everything there is to really know about this person. I feel like this is someone that may be kind of lazy when it comes to relationships. This is going to sound weird, but I don't think it's that this person doesn't care. I think that they're just selfish. Like, you can't rely on this person. Is that what this is about exactly? Yeah, Five of Wands in reverse. This is making a choice to go your separate ways because you can't rely on this person here. The Three of Wands. You may have put distance here between you and them. This person was just in this relationship that you had with them. They were lazy. You know, they were very selfish. They may have even not been honest with you about a lot of things when it comes to like materialism or possessive, like, you know, what they have or what they wanted, you know. Tell me about that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. A Page of Cups. So this person may come in a way of being very, like, maybe even apologetic or wanting to work something out, or very kind of sweet and innocent kind of feeling here, you know, like the message or their what they want is just sweet and innocent here, but this person doesn't have the best of intentions. What are their intentions? Death. So they're coming to you in a changed energy, or wanting to kind of show that they've changed or they're different. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. So this is someone trying to put you into a nostalgic kind of feeling of the Ace of Cups. With that being a pearl, they may even, I don't know if they're going to emphasize on this making a relationship stronger, or just how that they're seeing you as someone that's rare, you know, like a pearl. Like this feels like somebody buttering you up, right? Yeah, 4 Wands. This is somebody that wants some sort of, like, wants to have peace. They want peace with you. They see you perhaps as a place of peace or stability for them. But this person was, I mean, I don't think you trust this person, that they've changed. That's the issue that's here, right? Because they weren't good to you. What does this person want? What is that Knight of Swords? Why are they coming in so quickly here to try to calm things down? The Lovers in reverse. What does that mean? The 9 of Cups. That looks like a rebound. That looks like rebound energy. You know, this person may be looking for someone to help soothe their heart. You know, if there was another situation with that Lovers in reverse that didn't work out. This feels like somebody that's coming in just for what you provide, which could be peace or calmness. But the 9 of Cups can be a selfish energy, you know, like they're doing this for themselves. This is indulging a rebound energy. Why is that Knight of Swords in the reverse with the Emperor in reverse? High Priestess in reverse. This is like, I think this person does want to like express or expose some truth around their own energy, around maybe how they handled a situation, and what they lied about, they communicated something. What is this about? The 10 of Swords, a betrayal they're wanting to talk about, express. I think they also want to express an ending. What does that have to do with? The 7 of Wands in the reverse. This person, be careful with their words. They feel like they're a wordsmith. They have a way with words. This person has somehow, is kind of gaslighty, you know, with the King of Swords in reverse, but they may have a way of like turning it around where it, kind of like where you feel like, I don't know, you start to kind of believe them a little bit, like, or that you participate, or I don't know how to describe it. I don't feel like it's fair. I feel like they're going to let their guard down, though. They want to communicate something about this 10 of Swords, this ending, or this betrayal. The Hermit. Something they've been contemplating or thinking about. Virgo energies there. The 4 of Cups in reverse. This is whatever they become aware of how maybe they've communicated or handled the situation, the actions that they took. This is somebody that's kind of like saying, okay, I know I did X, Y, and Z, but there's a but. Like, I know I did X, Y, and Z, but I was trying to defend myself, or I felt like that's what you wanted. You know, I don't know. There's a way of turning it around on you in some way. I don't know how to explain it. What is death here? So they're basically kind of saying that they've changed or they're different. Queen of Swords. Libra energy. That's to me like, show me. The Queen of Swords, she doesn't mess around. She looks at someone for what they've done, their actions, you know. Tell me about that Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups. King of Cups. So that's, see, he's blowing in the horn. That's what I was talking about this person. Like, telling you what you want to hear. They really, what is the whole point in this? What did this person want from you? The Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, be careful of that. Because the Nine of Pentacles is like, you're in a well-balanced place. We talked about that in the beginning. You've cultivated, you've grown, you have these pentacles, you're abundant, you have everything you need. You provide, most importantly, a place of peace, stability. The Knight of Cups. This feels like somebody that just knows that you're somebody they can play with. And I know that sounds terrible. I do feel like this person cares about you, but I don't think that they understand. I don't think this person really quite understands how to care about somebody. They're going to get you to feel comfortable with them, and then they may make some kind of move on you. The Fool in reverse. It's like somebody that wants to see if you'll fall for it. It's like somebody that wants to see if it's just to see if they could. Why? This person's playing some sort of a game. They have like pre-intentions going into this. Why are they doing this? That's the Moon, Pisces, Cancer. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This person is still in a selfish energy. Even if they want to change, they don't. You know? That Nine of Pentacles and that Moon, either this person's trying to get you to be confused so they can make a move here, whatever that looks like. But their intentions are honest. This is like tomfoolery, like I'm going to distract you here. Make you comfortable just to see if my moves still work on you. Why is the Fool in reverse? The Magician in reverse is a manipulation. This is somebody that wants to try to see if they can still manipulate you. That's what they're coming into. They're coming into you addressing like maybe some ends, like some endings that they've had. They're also wanting to address things about themselves that they feel like that they're now aware of that they didn't see before. This person may even be in a rebound energy. For some of you, they're leaving something else behind with that Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy. You also have some Aries and some Aquarius, and some Gemini here too with Virgo. But they're coming to you with this idea of change. You are very guarded, and you're very like you have your sword up here with this. And you see this person as a huge, walking red flag, and you feel like their intentions are not in good place. But you still have these memories with this person. And if you entertain this in any way, those memories are easily accessible to you. Does that make sense? They kind of flood back in. I feel like you're very vulnerable around this person, and I think that they understand or know that. So they're seeing if they can still manipulate you in a way. Why? I don't know exactly. This person, they're bored. They want to play games. They want to rebound. They just want to see if they can, see what they can get from you. Why is this person doing this? Exactly. I think it's the only way that they know how to, like, this to them would be what love looks like, these games in some way. The Eight of Cups. This person may be trying to get you back to being attached. The Hierophant. They want you to be committed to them. They want to pull you back in a way, yeah, where you are an option, where you are committed to them and they have access to you. You're an option for them. Taurus is there with the Hierophant. Five of Wands in the reverse with that Six of Cups. So they want to leave you in a place to where you may go your separate ways, but there's still this emotional attachment or baggage that's here where they still have this access to you. It's kind of like they're clearing your mind of what you feel about them or how you see them and giving you a new image to see them as. So they still have that access to you in some way. What advice do you need about this? What advice do you need about this? You are in this cultivating space of stillness and silence. What advice do you need here about this? The Empress in reverse and the Sun. Know that this person needs you, you don't need them. That's where your power is, I think. Taurus, Libra, Leo energy here. Tell me about the Empress in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. This person needs what you offer. This is someone that's codependent or relies on others. What's the Sun? The Chariot. There's something else that's here too, before I talk about the Chariot. Cancer energy though. There is no reliability here with this person. You can't rely on this person to offer you anything, any kind of support or anything like that. There's none of that here. The Sun in the Chariot is like, well, I feel like this person's just trying to get you back on board, but I feel like with the Chariot being there in the Sun, it's like, you know clearly, you already see which direction that you need to be in. The Chariot's an independent card. This person may even use fear as a factor. So be careful of that too when it comes to family, stability, longevity, something like that with the Ten of... What should they be aware of when it comes to this person? Aces, they're not honest. Ace of Swords in reverse. They're not... Whatever they tell you is not the full truth. The Star in reverse and the Devil. That's what you need to be aware of. This person will fill you full of some sort of fantasy or tell you what you want to hear. They're not honest about that at all. Obviously, the Devil's here. Not a whole lot more to say about that. Capricorn, Aquarius energy. Why is that Ace of Swords in the reverse? The Eight of Swords in reverse. They're coming to you in a way of saying, I want to give you this information so you're not stuck in your head. But really what they're doing is they're trying to get you back into that place where you are stuck in your head because you're out of that. And they know it. You know? Why is the Star here in reverse? The Queen of Wands. What do you mean by that? There's a lot of different things running through my head, so hold on. Running through my head, all the things she said, all the things she said. Isn't that a song? The Four of Pentacles. Oh, protect yourself here for sure. But this person's... Be confident in the fact that you know... There's a lot of reverse psychology going on here with this person. So don't let your guard down. Have confidence in yourself. Recognize that this person is not what you really, this isn't your star, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't your desire, this isn't your wish. It's not reality. This person brings a lot of false illusions to you, trying to get you to believe it to be true. Tell me about the devil. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This person wants you to be kind of obsessed with them. That gives them some kind of peace of mind. I don't understand why. They have it feeds their ego, I guess, in a way. The Page of Wands in reverse. Or they just, you know, keeps them entertained. I don't like this at all. Five of Wands, is it still there at the bottom of the deck? Let's get some advice. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna get some advice. Just know that, let's just leave it at this person's coming around trying to like test you in a way and be on guard and stay true and committed to you and your path and your peace and where you are. You already know the answers that you seek, right? Let's see. Okay, that flipped out weird. New light, number 19. There's the sun again. Someone or something in your life needs to be seen in a different light. Observe things that you may have missed. So this person could be coming back around in a way of, you may be seeing them completely different. And despite what they're saying to you, you may be like, you know, if you would have came to me months or years ago, I probably would have believed you. But because I've been and cultivated my own space here and sat in this stillness and understood things and see things differently, despite what you're saying, I still don't see it. You know, I still don't agree with it. I still don't believe you. What else? Believe the things that have already been shown to you, you know. Number 56, spirit contact. Answer the call of your ancestors to connect with the wisdom and receive their support. So you may need to call on higher source to support. This may be a very difficult thing for you. Let me see why. Be watchful is at the bottom. I landed on number 15, which is the devil. Be watchful. Be on alert and aware of your surroundings. There's a red flag that you're ignoring. Allow the truth to be revealed. Hold on just a minute. I want to see how you're seeing this person, and I'm going to use a full deck. So I'm just going to grab my regular Rider-Waite Tarot. It's all beat up, but I trust it. How are you seeing this person in this reading? Okay, the Two of Wands in reverse just showed itself to me. So it's like promises that they can't keep, or this would be a bad decision, right? Yeah, there it is again. You've already gotten out of your head here. Eight of Swords in reverse about this person. You've already gotten out of your head about them. You see them clearly, right? The Hermit in reverse. Again, you've already done that introspection about them and who they are. And look at these cards being in reverse here. The Three of Wands in reverse. Like, this is someone that, again, like, unreliable, make promises they can't keep. Like, you don't have any high expectations with this person because you don't believe anything they say. Yeah, you feel like this person is very egotistic, is very much so consumed with themselves or wanting to win at all costs, you know. You have that Seven of Pentacles there. You've already done some soul searching here about what the future would hold, and it doesn't consist of this person. The Hierophants, that's like, nope, I've already learned that lesson. I have learned that lesson. The King of Pentacles in reverse. So again, I'm just going to keep repeating myself here with that. You don't trust this person. The King of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Wands and the Fool. You may recognize or see this person as having someone else or being in another relationship. They could come to you when they're not. That rebound energy is here. That's not for everybody, of course, but that's there. So in other words, when something doesn't work out here, they come to you for because they feel like you'll fall for it, you know, like you'll always be there, kind of feeling. Yeah. I don't think you're interested in this. I think that you're in a place with the Fool, like you've just started over. You're not. You don't care. It's like not. I don't really care to even try to understand the situation at this point. But you are defensive about yourself and your energy and what you've created. Okay, let's get some advice. I'm going to use the Feminine Wisdom Oracles because I really like them. Okay, Wisdom came out. Knowledge and understanding. And guess what? It's the number 4. There you go. It's also the cover of the cards. Okay, number 4. What a coincidence, huh? Wisdom. The ability to think and act based on previous knowledge, understanding, experience, insight, and common sense. This is a great card for you guys. It looks as if you have taken the right course of action. You are standing in your truth, representing or responding to the outside world in the correct manner. Although you may not know yet, your empowered self, you've empowered yourself and others. Life is always changing, but the core essence stays the same. Love does not change, and neither does wisdom. Continue to live through your inner knowledge with great respect for yourself and others. Sorry, there's something coming through when I was reading that, and that makes it difficult. My brain's not there, you know. I was thinking when it says, love does not change, and neither does wisdom. So yeah, your love for this person may have not altered or changed for some of you, not everybody, you know, but for some of you, you may still have love for this person, but you're also, you know, a wise person. You know what's right, what's best for you. And you can love somebody and know that this person is not honest or not truthful or not good for you at the same time. You know? I will keep practicing simple acts of observing and not absorbing. I stand firm on my truth. Number 21. 21 is the world in tarot. So I think what you're standing firm on here is the truth of how you kind of ultimately see things. And that's the world is closing a chapter out, an ending. Okay. All right. With that being said, let's get some charms to close. Okay. For those of y'all that stuck around for this reading, I know some of y'all may not. Look at there, we got the soccer ball. That's about playing games. You also have the big red bow, which always reminds me of a red flag. Yeah, it's a bow, which is a good thing, a fancy thing, or, pretty or whatever, but it's still a red flag. So this person may look good and sound good, but it's still a big red flag. Choose happy. And loving is easy. Okay, so we have FIRBU OE. Sorry, my stomach's growling. I am hungry. BHC B. We have Jess here, so Jessica. JES. Jessica B. We have fire in the bowl. Maybe you have a intense attraction to this person. That's maybe why it's difficult as well. We have B in the bowl. Alright, I'm gonna leave you here. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support. Good luck here on this. I think that you're pretty smart. I think you're going to choose what you need to. Choose happy. And I'm going to leave you here. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.